PNA friends and family, and welcome to the first ever Pacific Northern Academy virtual graduation. As a board member and parent, I always look forward to graduation. It's inspirational to see these 8th graders reflect on their experiences in this unique educational environment. And it's always exciting to learn about what they plan to do in the future. So Aiden, Alex, Neil, Kiana, and Susie, from the Board of Trustees, we wish you all the very best, and I cannot wait to see what you do with this education. And now, introducing Lori Hofer, head of school.
Thank you, Josiane. Hi, graduates. We're so proud of you. We know it's been a very difficult spring to your year, so I wanted to do what I do best, and that is I wanted to read you a story. All the places you'll go. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know, and you are the guy who'll decide where to go. Wait. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This is not the right book. This is your book. Oh, the places you cannot go because of COVID-19. Sorry, let me start over. COVID-19 threw your 8th grade year out of whack, as event after event had to be sacked. The virus caused the city to hunker down, which meant that leaving the house was met with a frown. You moved quickly to distance learning via Zoom, where your classmates join you in your very own room. A daily dose of fun mixed in with some science and math made staying in lockdown not so much of a drag. Oh, the places you can't go, like the school park or store, the virus can spread with a sneeze, shake, or snore. Kiana raced out of town to be safe in far-flung Willow, but every morning meeting she was there perched on her pillow. Alex unpacked boxes into his new abode, but the kindness from his heart continued to flow. Aiden learned quickly that the internet can be glitchy and that staying inside can sometimes make you itchy. Lucky Neil and Susie are neighbors next door, so meeting could be done from the window on the 2nd floor. Oh, the places you can't go, like the school park or store, the virus can spread with a sneeze, shake, or snore. Bizzle, Laird, and Fairy kept you moving forward, even though home and school sometimes became blurred. Mariner made sure those speeches were top-notch, even though we weren't sure who was even gonna watch. The worst came with the canceling of the trip. This was when you really thought you would flip. The winter snow melted into the sunshine of spring, and you hoped the warm weather would allow one final fling. Oh, the places you can't go, like the school park or store, the virus can spread with a sneeze, shake, or snore. Oh my gosh, this isn't your book either. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. This is your book. Oh, the places you will conquer. Because conquer is what you have shown us you will do. You made it through this, and you showed the world who's who. You did not let disappointment dampen your smile. You handled each challenge with your own special style. You proved to us how resilient you can be. From challenges of virtual learning, you chose not to flee. Each step of the way, you proved the meaning of the mission. Your vision, courage, and integrity were not up for discussion. Exceptional learner and independent thinker, you have proven you are. All this combined will make you go far. So will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So be your name Kiana, Susie, or Neil, or maybe Alex or Aiden, or any old deal. You're off to conquer places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Kiana, this one's for you.
Thanks, Miss Hofer. Hi, my name is Kiana. When I first came to PNA in August, I was a very shy person. Where I am from, GreatSchool, which is near Bethel, is a place with not that many people, traditional Yupik values and learning in different languages. I did well in school there, but when I came to Pinay, I had more opportunities. In Kasihok, most of the time we spoke Yupik. My friends, my teachers, my classmates, and other people spoke Yupik all around me. At the beginning of the year, when I first came to Pinay and while I was at other schools, there was times when I wasn't able to present in front of classes without having a big panic attack. I spoke quietly, I slouched, I hid in my big hoodies. There was no hiding it. My overall appearance showed that I was shy. I was really shy because when I was young, like in preschool and kindergarten, I didn't have the chance to talk to people my own age. During the time, I was recovering from chemotherapy. I was only 2 to 4 years old when I had cancer. I had a rare cancer known as Wilms tumor, which occurs in the kidneys. But then, at PNA, friends, teachers, and family started noticing I was less wiggly, less fidgety, and I was less meek. I would even get in trouble for talking too much a couple times. As time went on, I started to believe in myself more. I could now understand English, at least better than I used to.
Go.
This year is also the year where I have grown the most academically. For example, last year I didn't understand math very well, but when I came to PNA, the teaching environment was different. I didn't have any goals for math. It was just another subject I was in, but Miss Ferry made math easy to learn. She made it fun and wasn't giving us way too much homework. Miss Ferry takes the time and makes sure everybody understands the math, pushing me to actually make goals for myself in this subject. She cares, so now I do too, which is another reason why I feel like PNA is different from other schools. This year, I am proud to say that I have finished my first chapter book, even though I'm 14 years old, Divergent by Veronica Roth. I learned that I really like dystopian-themed books. I found dystopian books really interesting because I feel like I connect with the characters in a way. I wouldn't have read the book if I didn't attend PNA. I first discovered the book a couple months before Aiden and I had to read it as partners. I started to read it, and then I gave up on reading it for those couple months. When Aiden became my reading partner, reading became way more fun. Before Aiden and I were reading the book together, I didn't like reading. I didn't understand it. I read slower than others. It was all just a big pain. But when I was given the chance to read with someone, it helped me understand books more. PNA is different from other schools. The classes are smaller, the teachers are nice, and they care so much about us, and they have high expectations, which is why I feel like PNA has got me prepared for high school. I can now present in front of classes without having a big panic attack. I am more confident, I speak up more, I understand English better than I used to, and overall, PNA has helped me to move forward in my life of education and social skills. I have made so many friends in the past year, and I thank them all for being by my side through the hard times. I am also grateful for my teachers for pushing me to succeed, and I thank them too. PNA has been an amazing school, and it changed my life. And now I'm going to introduce my good friend Neil.
Thank you, Kiana. Hello, everybody! I'm Neil Brown, and I've been lucky to call PNA my second home for the past 9 years. This is the story of us, and this is why I've been enchanted with PNA for so long. School is tough, people. You got your homework, you got your activities, you have to learn different subjects, such as math and language arts. This might be a lot, but before you lose your mind, one of the biggest things that keeps you together is friends. For example, do you occasionally space out of reality thinking about how cool your pencil is, or how you're doing such a great job of paying attention? That's the worst one, by the way. Well, friends are the ones you frantically text because you want to make sure you did the homework. Friends really do make school a lot better, and I learned this the hard way. In 6th grade, I started wanting more of a competitive environment with mathletes and sports. I decided to go to Romake Middle School. I was excited to try something new, but I wasn't excited to be leaving PNA. I went in ready to find new friends, but between me not being great at finding friends and the fact that it was just hard to make friends at a place with 800 kids, I started thinking about going back to PNA. I started thinking about how at PNA you make friends immediately and everyone wants to be your friend. At Romeg, there didn't seem to be any time to make friends. And to make things worse, everyone was in friend groups that seemed to be closed off. On a day I had off from Romeg, my friend Hayden asked if I wanted to come back to PNA and visit for a day. People there were excited to see me and wanted to talk to me and have me in their classes. I felt like I was a part of the PNA community still. I wanted to come back, and I will always remember walking into everyone's surprised and happy faces. My friends from PNA and I have had a lot of great times. Our last trip was to Washington, D.C., and that trip was so fun. I got to be with all my friends for a week in one of my favorite cities in the world. Unfortunately, our trip this year got canceled, but I still got to be with my friends. Washington, D.C. was a really wonderful trip where all my friends and I got to learn about the government and history of Washington, D.C. Not only did I learn, though, I got to have fun with my friends. We stayed up late watching TV in our hotel room while during the day we learned about our government. In fact, there was one particular part of DC that really stands out to me. A couple days into DC, I got some cold or flu. There's something about staying up until 1-3 in the morning talking and watching TV that taxes your immune system. At one point in particular, we were in a pizza shop. That sounds nice, but imagine, your throat feels like sandpaper, you're walking in 90-degree heat, and you're in dress attire all after a 3-hour show. As you can imagine, I wasn't in the best of moods. I felt bad that everyone seemed to be having a great time and I was ruining everything. But what I didn't realize is that my friends were there for me and knew I was sick. I was so happy that my friends, including Ella and Finn, were there for me. They and others just got me through it, and it made me feel way better knowing that my friends were there for me and were helping me and made sure I feel okay, and when I had pizza in my mouth. They were understanding and got me water and just overall made me feel better. This year, along with growing a lot academically, I've got to be with people I really care about. Whether it's singing Look What She Made Me Do by Taylor Swift, or Bad Guy by Billie Eilish, or Susie moving in across the street from my house, or Alex, or as I call him, Sasha, moving back to Anchorage, or Kiana joining us, or knowing Aiden from time to time, or comparing Ella's name to a 2000 hit song by Rihanna. Everyone means a lot to me. One opportunity we have gotten to do is go out for lunch once a month. I have a lot of good memories from that. We would walk to Fred Meyer's and get sushi in Starbucks, and I will always remember that. In the end, I'm so lucky to have great friends that were there for me. Thank you to all of them that made going to school a lot more fun. I also want to thank my teachers for helping me through school while still feeling like we know each other. I also want to thank my friends for pushing me to always do my best. Also, I want to thank my friends again for the mental help and fun over these wonderful 9 years. Having great friends really does make school a lot better, and I can't wait for the next chapter of my life, high school. And now I'd like to introduce my good friend, Susie Kim.
Thanks, Neil.
Hello, my name is Susie Kim. Before I begin my speech about my experiences, I want to thank my teachers, Miss Mariner, Miss Ferry, Senora Laird, Mr. Bizzle, Mr. Johnson, and Miss Molly for being with me throughout this year and giving me so much of their support and dedication. They really made this year exciting and fun, even with the long-distance learning because of COVID-19. So once again, thank you for your support. Now, for those who don't know, I train in an Olympic sport called biathlon. Biathlon is a mix of riflery and cross-country skiing. A couple months after my move up to Alaska, I started the sport and found a new passion. It really has challenged me mentally and physically as an athlete. My struggles and accomplishments in biathlon remind me greatly of my challenges and successes at PNA. So I'm going to talk about my time at PNA through a biathlon experience. The biathlon targets represent an area of growth or an important event that has shaped me to who I am today. Now put yourself into the eyes of a biathlon athlete. Imagine coming into the shooting range, your heart beating a mile a minute, your legs shaking with exhaustion. You get to your mat, take deep breaths as you load your ammo, then get in position and close your eyes. For me, when I open my eyes, I see that first target on the left, waiting. This first target represents my areas of growth from PNA. One very important area I've grown in at PNA is learning to see both sides of an argument. One day at school, we were picking sides for a debate on if competitive sports should be allowed. Having grown up with a sporty family, I naturally believed that competitive sports were great for kids, but Miss Mariner put me on the opposing side. I was at first shocked and upset, but as I started researching and learning more about the mental and physical drains of sports, I saw a totally new perspective that should not be ignored. Though I love competitive sports, I can see why people can dislike them. From this, I learned to see every side and point of an argument before debating it. The target goes down, 4 to go. Moving on, the next target represents the confidence from PNA that I have built up over the last 2 years. I remember first walking into PNA, totally freaked out and nervous. I walked into the classroom and everyone looked up. Then suddenly all the middle schoolers were gathered around, asking me how I am, where I'm from, what I think of Alaska, and etc. All the trepidation I had felt started to slowly melt away as my bond with my classmates and teachers grew. With that thought, the target is hit and turned from black to white. Another target down, 3 to go. The third target is a target that represents how my relationship with my classmates and community have developed. Throughout this year, I have learned so much about my companions, probably more than I should, and I've seen how they have grown in their own ways. They have always made me feel very comfortable and confident with who I am. From Neil's Taylor Swift obsession, Lil and Ella being animal fanatics, to Alex and Kiana's humor, and Aiden's love for books. Without these amazing people, I don't think I would have laughed and learned as much as I did this year. I'll always be proud to have such weird and amazing friends. The fourth target shows the interest outside of school that I have found. Listening to my dad play piano growing up really motivated me to pick up my own instrument. When I started playing the flute, I had found a new hobby. Then when I moved up to Alaska, I found sports along with music. With the positive education and community from PNA, everything balanced out and my anxiety started to slowly fade away. 4 targets down, 1 to go. The last target is often considered the hardest target since it is where all your hard work has come to. Looking down the range, I think about my family and community. Seeing how far I have come not only as a student, but as a person, shows the resilience I have built up over the years and the kindness of my friends. I think of my family, always challenging and pushing me to be my best. It's frightening thinking about where I'm going to end up, but I know my family and friends will always be there for me. With that in mind, the target closes, and the wind is just around the corner. And now on to my good friend Aiden. Hi, my name is Aiden. Let me give out a little bit of background knowledge for you. I was never really an outgoing person. I'd always do whatever I could to stay as far away from the spotlight as much as possible. I was kind of known as a shy kid at my old schools, and I guess I was kind of shy. But I also didn't want to interact with certain people due to how a few people would act toward me and a few of my friends. Some of the other students would sometimes pick on us for being short or the way we dressed. When I first found out I might be going to PNA, let's just say I wasn't all too happy. I had never really had a good view of private schools. I'd always seen them as preppy rich kid schools, with the expectation to get every single thing perfect. But when I first walked into PNA and looked around, I saw that it wasn't really like that. People were pretty friendly, and there was no high expectation for everyone to get everything perfect. I remember in the first few days of school being put in a group with one of the former 8th graders, Zach, to sort books for the class library. We had a pretty good time putting the books in the right categories, even with him constantly complaining or making jokes about how hot it was in the building. Even with that, I was still reluctant to go talk with anyone and waited for them to come to me, instead of going out and talking with other people myself. When there was any sort of group activities, I would just stay behind people and do whatever they did or told me to do. Although I did all that, I slowly got braver when it came to discussions or activities, putting my opinion in or asking what else I could do to help. Last year, we were asked to make escape rooms for the younger students at the science party. I was put in a group of a few other 7th graders, and we conspired on what to do. We decided on a little questionnaire thing about electricity. I had helped with the idea, giving input on other ideas and helping resolve or put together a few to make the final product. I think this may have been one of the reasons why I have started being more forward and confident to speak up. Now that I am in 8th grade, I am supposed to be one of the mature older students that the younger kids look up to. I try to do that, to be that person, but I'm not going to lie, it's hard. It does get easier though. I gained most of my confidence this year by joining the student council. I decided to join one, because I wanted to, and also because we were asked for 3 representatives and only 2 other people volunteered. There are even more times beside that where I have to be more confident in my words and decisions, but I have gotten better at that. I still continue to dislike the spotlight, but when I have to, I can push through that discomfort and go forward. And through more practice, I can probably be completely sure of myself.
And now here's my friend Alex.
Thanks, Aiden. Hi, my name is Alex. When I was younger, my parents decided to put me in a school called PNA. And I have to say, that was one of the best parental decisions my parents have ever made. I loved it. It was perfect. The classes were fun and engaging, the students were the best, and the teachers made everything we learned fun. For example, in first grade, Mr. Fidel, the class, and I were studying mold and other things like that. So instead of just watching some boring old video, we decided to think of a bunch of dirty places around the school, and we then went around to those places and rubbed bread on them. We had tons of fun walking around the school and rubbing bread on gross things like the bathroom floor or the parking lot, and then hanging them up on the wall to see which one got the moldiest. And if I recall correctly, the bathroom urinal bread and the booger bread were the dirtiest and the moldiest of the lot. As time went on, things just got better and better. We got to do tons of new things, and we got to go on many one-of-a-kind field trips. One of my personal favorites from back in those old days was the one to the Sea Life Center. We spent the night sleeping by a seabird enclosure, and I remember vividly us all trying to sleep with all the bird chatter. In the daytime, we got to learn about amazing sea life, such as the stellar sea lion and the giant Pacific octopus. The octopus stands out to me because when we were there, we got to see it protecting its eggs, and we could see its tentacles moving around, protecting its eggs. Unfortunately, I had to leave after 3rd grade because of my parents' work. I felt extremely sad, not only because I would miss PNA, but also the people who surround PNA. When we moved, we tried many different schools, none of which lived up to the high standards of someone who had recently been to PNA. After years of going to just mediocre schools, I heard the news that we would be moving back to Anchorage. I was super excited to go back to PNA. Unfortunately for me, that was after I had gone to schools that made me fall back drastically. I had times where I felt miles behind my other classmates, but whenever I fell down, something always made me feel better. Whether it was something hilarious Neil did, or something kind or supportive Miss Mariner said. So now, with hard work and great support, I'm back in business. I never thought that I could have learned so much and had just as much fun in one school year. One of the best experiences I have had this year has got to be the Mars Colony Project. We did research on a bunch of things that NASA had been thinking of in order to make a colony on Mars. We then took a bunch of junk and made our own mini Mars colonies. Each building we created had its own little story and reason it was the way it was. When we had finished our Mars colony, I felt really proud, and I felt like we had truly done something impressive. It was one of the first times I began getting the hang of things here at PNA. It feels like it took forever to get back to PNA, and I just wish I could have stayed a bit longer. I've had so many great experiences at this school, and I will miss it dearly. I doubt I could have ever made it this far without PNA, and I hope that it may help many more children and teens, such as myself, for many more years.
And now, back to Miss Hofer.
Thank you, Alex. I'd like to be the first to congratulate the PNA class of 2020. May you always have perfect vision.